My name is Sonia Eckel, and I am so honored to share some of the things that I so appreciate about Evelyn. I love Evelyn's spirit of integrity and how she walks in her core values so strongly. And I love that Evelyn is a natural leader who has the gift to teach others how to lead and to teach others how to be successful. And I've enjoyed partnering with Evelyn. I love her get her done attitude. When she puts her mind to something, she gets it done and she helps others to do the same. So appreciate you, Evelyn. Thank you for inviting me to have a small piece of sharing you with the world.
Oh my goodness, thank you. Okay, this is so awesome. That was my friend Sonia. I have had the privilege of working with her for quite some time now, and I loved hearing from her and what she thought about, yeah, just even working together and doing life together. So, welcome back, ladies. I am so glad that you are here for our day 2 Swap the Waste, Fuel the Change challenge. Um, Drop in the comments if you actually see this on, for whatever reason, I go on here and it does not let me change this to public until I can get off the live. So anyway, if you could just let me know that you're here, comment hashtag live or hashtag replay if you're when you're watching the replay. Let me know that you are here and that you can hear me well. And then maybe if you see me on Facebook, you can share it. Okay. All right. So again today, so yesterday we laid the foundation with mindset. Okay, so we talked about the 3 ways to reset your mind, and that's to first of all name that waste. Okay, we definitely want to align, call it out for what it is, and we want to learn how to reframe that thinking so that it can serve us. And then from there, we want to be able to anchor in new patterns. So how do we set new patterns? And we'll talk more about that, but I want to mention to you that one of the things that I read that was so helpful was Atomic Habits. One of those habits, and I didn't share this with you yesterday, but I do talk about it more in my Anchor Aligned and Anchor program. Um, is how to stack your habits. So when we're creating a new habit, it is very difficult to just like say, okay, I'm going to do this, right? And honestly, that's why we need accountability, right? But one of the tips that it shared on this book, and tell me if you can relate in the comments, like say, yeah, Atomic Habits, comment habits if you can relate with this. It is so much easier to actually add a new activity to something that you are already doing than it is to just say, oh, I am totally going to overhaul and just start this new habit today when you never have done it before. So for example, if you already, most of us, already brush our teeth in the morning. It is something that we had to learn as a small child, right? Can you say, yes, that's what I do. I already brush my teeth. So if you're trying to create a new habit of maybe stating an affirmation, something that we talked about, like when you're trying to reframe your mind to truth instead of a lie, then that is probably the time you will remember to say that affirmation is while you're brushing your teeth. So you are already doing it. So it's so much easier to just stack on that new habit of like, okay, I'm going to reframe my mind when I brush my teeth, right? And just like saying things, right? Saying affirmations, saying things that will, speaking truth, reframing that story into something that will serve you, but stacking that habit, that's saying it while you're already brushing your teeth. So comment habits if you can relate with that and like, yeah, I could totally do that. That's so much easier, right? Okay, the other thing that I wanted to share with you that I didn't share is obviously when we are anchoring in new patterns, we do need that accountability. As a matter of fact, in this book, and I'll go back to High Performance Habits, but it says that when you believe in your ability to perform well, the more likely you are to do things that actually begin to restore and protect and improve your health. And when you feel good about yourself, you are more likely to work out. So we're going to talk about that. But so confident is being, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this today. That's actually part of what we're going over today. It's we're moving into the body detox, because your body is, we want your body to be fueled well so that you can live and lead at a higher level, your highest capacity. Okay. All right, so real quick, let me just go into the comments here and let me see my friends. Hello, hi, Yvonne. It's so good to see you. Thank you. Okay, thank you. You can see me clearly. Tori, good morning. Beautiful morning. Absolutely. Hey, Allison. Hello. Okay, habits, Allison. So you can relate with me, right? Like that sounds so much easier to do. And Yvonne, I know we've talked about this in past coaching, times where that felt so much easier to add on a new habit when on something that you've already doing, right? Yeah, totally. Okay. Thank you, ladies, for being here. All right. So let's go on here. So just real quick, as we're talking about these, today's going to be amazing. Okay. Body detox. That's what we're going to talk about. All right. But I'll tell you a little bit about my story and how I even got here. In April of 2024, I started going to the gym. This is less than a year, maybe just a little over a year, because I was dealing with aches and pains in my right shoulder. Can anybody relate with shoulder pains? I mean, have you ever felt a shoulder pain? Comment shoulder pain if you've ever felt any pain around your arm. Okay, so that was me. I started learning about how important it is for women to build lean muscle, especially as we age, because we are losing, and so much statistics behind it. Do some research around that. I mean, it was kind of like like I should have been weightlifting for so long, but that's okay. There's no shame here. We're just going to talk grace and compassion over ourselves, and thankful that I was able to find out that information, right? So by October, so I started going to the gym, weightlifting, all the things, but I was only weightlifting once a week when I started thinking about it, right? I was just getting myself to the gym. And that was the first step, because it was something that I hadn't done in years, y'all. Probably since I've left college. Okay. Just to be truthful. I was a runner. I definitely ran, but I never weightlifted. Okay. So by October of 2024, my shoulder had improved. I was able to, throw a football with the boys again, and it felt so good. But honestly, I still didn't feel good about myself. And I looked down. And again, there's no shame here. So if you've ever felt this, there's no shame. Just put, yes, I can relate. I looked down, and all of a sudden I just started noticing this belly, a pooch. And I was like, what in the world? Where did that come from? Okay. All of that. I'm laughing. I'm laughing at myself because it's the truth. We all go through this. And so there's no shame in it. Okay. I'm just exposing it, and I'm just being real with y'all. And it's so easy to go into that, like, man, I feel shameful. I feel so vain for, feeling this way and thinking this way. And while all of those things I am so grateful for, while all those things, those thoughts don't serve me, I'm grateful that the Lord is able to take that, my mess, and turn it into my message. And that's exactly what He did for me. I had to come to a point where I had to realize that, okay, while I wasn't feeling good about myself in that moment, and I did have to point, he did have to point that out for me. He did have to say, okay, I'm going to call this for what it is. And we're just going to, I'm going to call it for what it is. And he's like, okay, girl, we can do this at the same time that you're building your business. This is not a either or matter. This is a doing it together, and I'm going to help you. So, can you relate? Okay, I'm going to, yes, you can relate. Yvonne, my arm fell asleep. But yes, if you, I remember that, like, you would roll over and your arm started to hurt. Yeah, it would fall asleep, and it wakes you up in the morning. It honestly, it makes you less able to focus during the day, right? Like it just didn't feel good. Okay. All right. So here we go, you guys. So I started doing a lot of research, and I found these most amazing bioactive peptides. As a matter of fact, this is one of the prizes. This is actually goes to the number one, whoever's at the top. So this is one of the prizes. It's the lean. I did it last time in May. And this is why, okay, because it's part of my story. I found these bioactive peptides, okay. They're actually derived from nature. They're decoded by AI, and AI right now, it's like a big thing. So AI literally tells my body to help reduce that, to literally like get rid of that belly fat, okay, in there. And I love it because it's designed to optimize how our bodies are already performing. So as I was weightlifting, I was actually building lean muscle. As I started to change my diet and reset my gut, I wasn't making radical food choices. It wasn't anything different. It was just I was beginning to be a little bit more conscientious of like, okay, in my plate, tell me if you can, if this helps you, right? If you look at your plate and you say, oh gosh, I can't eat this, or I can't eat that, or I can't do this, like, does that really help you? Does that make you feel like restricted, confined, and like you're not allowed to do anything? Like, does that even serve you, right? Comment like, yeah, that doesn't serve me. But what if you were to look at your plate and you be like, okay, what can fuel me today? What can fuel my body? What will fuel my body? Okay, then you start thinking, oh, addition, not subtraction. Okay, so that's what this change in me started doing for me. And so we're going to talk about that. Okay. Yes. You can totally relate. Yes. Okay. Awesome. Thank you guys for commenting here. This is so fun. All right, it makes it like okay, I'm actually having a conversation with you guys. So, all right, so I learned that through that mess, right? I have learned that stewarding my body is so important. It's important because it is the temple of God, and He has created this body right here so that I could fully show up in my calling. And if I wasn't taking care of my body, of this temple, then I just wasn't going to feel as good. And according to this right here, let me just say, becoming more confident is good for your health. It decreases burnout, and it makes you feel happy, willing to take on new challenges, and more fulfilled. And for these reasons, this is why it's important to say, okay, confidence is actually one of those things that we want to work on. All right. And how do we do that? Well, we take a look at our plate. I'm going to talk more about that. And we decide, okay, what can I add to this plate so that I can fuel it right? All right, real quick. So I told you the price. I'll get into this other prices, but as a reminder, the Aligned and Anchored coaching certification is open right now. So if you're curious, drop lean in the comments, or just drop lean in the comments, and we can hop on a quick 15-minute call just to see if this might be your next step. Okay, and we'll go over what that is. leaderboard for today. We do have some more leaders that are rising up, woo woo, and more today. So I'm gonna, at the end of this, what you'll receive is actually an email. So check your email because I keep updating the leaderboard. Your name, who knows, might be at the top or one of the top four, the top three actually, because I have 3 prizes. So this is one of them, okay? It fires up, it's going to fire up your metabolism. It's going to reduce fat, like the bloat, the feeling puffiness. It helps you feel leaner and lighter, more energized. But I do pair it, and this is a 30-day supply. I do pair it with 2 other peptides. Actually, it's one other peptide. The other one is like a support, more of a support supplement, but it's called Fit and Hydrate. They hydrate you and then they help you build the lean muscle as well. In 5 days, I had lost inches. No, 10 days, sorry, had lost inches around my weight, waistline. And I was like, whoa, but I hadn't lost weight. So I was a little conflicted. I was like, what's going on? So don't look at the scale. That's why I'm like, don't think about what you're going to get rid of on your plate. Think about what you can add to your plate. Okay. The second prize winner, you're going to get a special speaking engagement with Josiah and me. Josiah is my 15-year-old, you guys. He's my son. He's one of my boys, one of the 4 boys. He is growing into public speaking, doing the presentations through our, I'll talk about this more, through our home detox business. And so he's growing into this public speaking. You're going to see how he's doing these presentations. It's so much fun, you guys. So you'll win a free wellness. The person who wins this, you win a free wellness talk for your group. It could either be, you and your people, basically. It could be either virtual or in person if you're local. And then the third winner is going to be a free 15-minute consultation with me. And this will help you jumpstart your own health, your wellness plan that you want to do. And you can do that right away. So however that looks like, I just help you get it together and so that you can start implement it. A lot of you are high performance individuals and moms and women, and you know what to do. And you might not need accountability. You might just need that, like someone to be like, okay, we're going to do this. And in 90 days, I can get this done on my own. So that might just be all that you need, right? Okay. All right. So here's the problem. Let's get into this. Many high performing women, they live in stress. They might have some sugar things going on, right? Like maybe too much sugar. They are constantly taking sugar, whether it's candy or soda pops, just to get through the day. All right. And sometimes you feel like you're just in survival mode, like you're rushing, you're hustling. Like if you're catching yourself hustling or rushing all the time, like going here and going there. Okay. I'm not going to say that I have it all together whatsoever. Do I catch myself taking deep breaths when I get in the car? Absolutely. Every single day. Okay. Because sometimes the getting out the door is stressful. The getting out the door with the kids. Can you relate? Like, yeah, stress. Okay. But what is not so helpful is when you're running on empty because you didn't eat breakfast, right? Or all you had was you picked up a chocolate bar. And many of you probably don't do that, but that's the reality sometimes, right? I know it was so much easier for me to eat a chocolate chip cookie just because it was there. And I'm like, or leave the door and just like, oh, I got the kids fed, but not me because I have an egg allergy. I could have created so many excuses like, oh, I have corn allergy. I have a gluten sensitivity. Oh, I have, lactose intolerant. And so I could have just given up and been like, if nobody else feeds me, my mama's not here to feed me, my husband's not going to make me meals, then shoot, I'm just going to give up and that's what had happened. So when I looked down, it wasn't just that I was getting older, is that I hadn't been making good food choices. or lack of, right? It just kind of like this was me. I was running on sugar, running on stress, just survival mode, and I was battling fatigue. I'm already, and who else here has a low, what do they call it? It's one of your blood. It's in your blood. Let's see. Anemic. Is anybody else anemic? Comment anemic. Where your red blood count is actually low. And so it's important that that we eat red meat and spinach and legumes, things like that, that will increase our red blood cells. And so otherwise, I end up being anemic. And then when you get your menstrual period, you're even more anemic. Okay. So I was not doing very good. And I was very inconsistent. I was experiencing brain fog. So when I ended up taking these, what I ended up doing for my brain was something clicked for me that I had to make a connection with um, what I was going to fuel my body and how I was also going to learn to build lean muscle. So it was a cognizant decision, right? And that's the good news. The good news is that your energy is not completely gone. Okay. It was just trapped. For me, it was trapped. And when you reset your gut, when you make that decision, that choice to reset your gut and to fuel your body with purpose, then you begin to just unlock this sustainable energy and sustainable clarity. Because with that energy comes focus and clarity. And when you have a clear mind, you actually can become more consistent with the things that you've told yourself you were going to do, like the things that you commit yourself. So here's the gut energy connection here. Your gut is the command center of your body. It's going to determine your mood. It's going to determine your control your immune system, how it interacts with things, the fluctuation of your hormones throughout the month, right? It's going to help you with that, and your energy. So when it's inflamed, and when it's on overload, everything just feels harder. Do you see that? So comment gut if you're getting this connection between your gut and your energy and how it all flows. Okay. The other one is stress, sugar, and survival mode. Okay. These things are things that when we're in constant stress, it actually affects our heart, right? So that's no good. And the longevity of your life in general. So when we have quick fix foods like what I was feeding myself, either if it was a banana, leftover chocolate chip cookies, sometimes that would be it, right? And I started switching those with energy balls. So it still had some chocolate, but it was chocolate protein, and I just added some oatmeal, dry oatmeal to it, and I added some honey and some almond butter. I made it into a little ball, and that's what I would start picking up. So again, when we talk about habits, you want to stack it, right? I was already picking up the wrong thing, but it was sugar. So in my mind, I wanted that sugar. So I had to make that connection, right? And instead, I would prep ahead of time, because you have to make a decision ahead of time so that when temptation comes, you actually have already made the decision what you're going to do instead of picking up that thing, right? So I made those little energy balls ahead of time, and that's what I would just grab. Okay. So that's another tip, all right? Okay, and then the connection between fueling your body well and stewardship, right? Why does it mean that when you fuel your body, you're actually stewarding what God has given you, the things that God has given you? Well, um, I will always go back to scripture, but in the Holy Bible, right in the Bible, scripture tells us that when we honor our bodies, um, then we're actually honoring the temple of where he lives, because he resides in us, right? When we've when we've invited him to live in our heart and live in our life, be a part of our lives. So when we give ourselves proper nutrition, when we hydrate ourselves, well, and when we rest, um, we actually see those not as luxuries, but we see it as a command, as a command. And so these are practices that we have to work on a daily basis, because it does not come easy. It does not come easy. You love protein balls, Allison? Yes, God. Okay, you guys. So Yvonne, I was at one time, but not sure anymore. And they say I lose blood. Oh, I'm being anemic. Okay. Yeah. And so, right. I'm actually due for a yearly checkup. So that's something that you can ask for, right? Is getting some blood work and starting to know what your numbers are and what those things mean, right? Allison, that was me. Horrible, stressed out, multitasking. Yeah, multitasking. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you guys are hearing me. Protein balls are a go for me. Yeah. So use your, oh, by the way, give me favorite protein shake, what do they call it? Protein powder. If you have a favorite protein powder, put it in the comments, because one, it's great for everybody to get ideas, but I'd love to know what your favorites are. We've tried a couple and we keep going back to the same one because our family agrees, all six of us agrees that we like that one better, but we are open to suggestions. And so you guys just put them in the comments, whatever your favorite protein shake is. I mean, not protein shake, protein powder, because you can put them anywhere, like energy balls, right? You can make them in a smoothie. You can put them, I eat it with oatmeal too. Okay. All righty. Yes. Yeah. So, right. The whey. So the one, we can't do whey either. The whey protein. So we stay away from that. So that's why it's been a little bit of a like a search for us. However, the one from oh, what's the one that we really really like? On topic but off topic, Juice Plus. Okay, Juice Plus, Juice Plus. That's the one that all six of us like love, and it doesn't have that whey protein. Tori, tell me which one that works for you. I would love to know. Okay. All right. Anyway, going back to this, here's 3 steps to reset your fuel. Are you ready? Write these down. You're going to want to get a piece of paper and pen and write this down. If you don't have the workbook, that's okay. Just comment workbook in the comments and we'll get you that link, okay? Because that is all in there as well. All right, 3 steps to reset your fuel. Ready? Okay, so number 1, identify what's draining you. Identify what's draining you. For example, is it skipping meals? Is it late night snacking? Is it late night snacking, right? Or could it be relying too much on caffeine instead of real fuel, right? So just that's the number 1. We want to identify what is draining us physically, mentally. Okay, yesterday we talked about naming the mental waste that's not serving us. Today, we want to identify the physical, what is draining you. What is draining you? Okay, 2, we want to swap that waste for fuel. So, what fuel am I talking about? For example, you might not be doing this, but if you're a soda drinker, swapping soda for maybe sparkling water. Again, we don't want to do this overhaul, but we want to kind of get the same idea. And for me, it was that chocolate chip cookie leftover, whatever, for that chocolate protein bar, or the chocolate balls, the protein balls. Let's see. Well, this one's a hard one. Chips, chips, with sandwiches. It's crunchy, so I started doing it with carrots. So swapping chips with something that's also baby carrots, crunchy. Um, My other favorite one is salad dressings. I have an egg allergy, so it was very hard for me to eat salads. So, something that I really, really started to love and enjoy was adding hummus to my salad so that I can start eating a salad again. So, I had like completely stopped eating vegetables because I couldn't have salad dressing, and the oil and vinegar and sea salt was just getting old for me. So just spicing things up. um okay, now this one's not this one. I love watching movies, okay, and I give myself permission to just turn everything off and sit down with my family, lay down on the couch, cuddle up, and watch a movie. Sometimes the boys, will want to. Sometimes it's like their day where for the most part, this year, the school year, we're implementing something different where they finish their chores and then they get computer time on Friday nights. So this is more of a date night for me and my husband. But Netflix late night, sometimes if that is something that we do before we go to bed, maybe swapping that out for maybe 20 minutes earlier so that you can still get to bed maybe 20 minutes earlier. Okay. So I'm not saying letting go of Netflix, but like maybe upping it for 20 minutes so it gives you an earlier bedtime. Sometimes that rest is so huge, you guys. Okay, so huge. um tell me in the comments, swapping waste for fuel, like what does that mean for you? Because that is part of the homework. All right. Anchor one daily habit. That's number 3. So 1, identify what's draining you. 2, swapping that waste for fuel. And 3, anchoring one daily habit. So what's the one thing that you can take today, implement this week, today, implement the rest of the week, but that you will do it continuously because you want to anchor yourself into that. Okay. Right. And that's what we go over in my Align and Anchor program. It's 12 weeks because we don't want to just do it one time. We want to stick with it. We want it to be sustainable. And I've been able to continue this rhythm of I didn't tell you the rest of the story, but that around October, that's when I found the bioactive peptide. So I started doing that. And then around April was like, what's going on? A friend was like, well, what if you were to start doing 3 to 5 days of weightlifting? Like what kind of difference would it do? And so I started implementing that 30 minutes a day, right before I did my work. So because I was going from dropping off the kids straight to work or breakfast, summer, whatever our schedule was, and then straight to work, what I started doing was right before I go to work, I would give myself 30 minutes to go lift. And I just did it downstairs. And that was easy for me to do. So just before I sat down for work, it was my 30 minutes. So I called it part of my miracle morning. Comment miracle morning if you have a specific miracle morning. By that, I mean like you have a daily habit that anchors you already, right? Whether it's getting up in the morning, drinking water before your coffee, or adding one, veggie to your plate, or, 10-minute movement. I know Yvonne, when we were talking, during that time, you were walking, you were getting up early to go walk, the steps, go up and down the steps. And like, that's a lot of flights, right? And then you started implementing something else to it. Maybe I think you were doing like a walk during lunchtime, right? So like stacking these habits so that they're sustainable. Maybe you have a miracle morning. Mine is getting up and let's see, just the first thing I love to do is to journal, or take my peptides in the morning. And now I don't even drink coffee or tea. It's just water with my peptides. It has a hydrate. It has, building lean muscle. So it gives me fueling for the day. It helps my gut, and then it's like your stomach works well, right? But I have that journal time, that Bible and scripture reading time. And then it's that 30-minute workout. And now I've even been able to go up to 40. So comment Miracle Morning if you have one of those. Yvonne, still doing these steps, walking during your lunch. Yes, Miracle Morning mindset. Allison has one. Yes, exercise to get your day. It's so important. Yvonne, you do oil and various flavored vinegars, mango, cranberry, strawberry, cilantro dressing. I've never tried that. I would love that. Um, Something like, the protein. Okay, yes. Yeah, the protein drinks are, yeah. I'm with you on that, Yvonne. Okay, awesome. Very good. So those are the three things to reset. Identify what's draining you, swap the waste for fuel, and anchoring one daily habit. And what might that look like for you today, right? All right. So that is why I actually started Aligned and Anchored. For me, it was something that I was able to create out of the mess. The Lord was able to, help me bring that messiness into my message, and it's been able to help me help other women um, that are also wanting um, this they're wanting to embody, this sustainable lifestyle of aligning their body, aligning their mind, aligning their home, right? Um, all anchored in God's word, where they're still being successful, um, but they're not living feeling rushed all the time, um, feeling like you're hustling consistently. And sometimes we are called to hustle at times for a short period, right? Depending on the goal or whatever. Um, but to do it like that consistently all the time, that's hard on your health. And it will catch up to you. It will catch up to you. Okay, your homework. Journal those three things, and what does fueling well look like to me? What's one area of nutrition or wellness that I want to improve? And I'll put this in the group, and I'll put hashtag day 2 homework, and that way I can put you on the leaderboard. Okay. Tomorrow we're going to be moving into the home detox. So we're going to talk all about how to create a sanctuary in your home for success. What does that look like? How does it look like to remove toxins, and to, what does it look like to declutter, and just to design this environment in your home that supports that peace and makes you more productive, right? At work or at home. And gives you that God's presence, so you're feeling peaceful. You don't want to miss this, okay? As a recap, though, I want to share this Aligned and Anchor program real quick with you guys. If you are interested, you can put just curious below. Comment curious, and we can get on a 15-minute call. We can talk about if this is, if this is a good fit for you. But this is for high-performing women. It helps you to detox your mind, your body, your home, but also to build income with integrity. So what does that look like? We want to live anchored in Jesus. This is a movement, you guys, that I feel like the Lord has called me to call out in successful, high-performing women like yourself, that you are already having these sustainable habits in your life. You just need that accountability, right? You just need that that program that keeps it going. But it's also a certification, because I believe that we're called to pay it forward, and that we're not just called to change and feel that transformation in our lives, but we're also called to multiply. And so one of the things that I'm super excited about that we do go over is we do a 21-day brain detox. And so that's the piece that I can't give you in a challenge of 5 days, right? because it's habits that you have to create. And one of the most important things that I am noticing is that brain detox and that home detox. But the brain detox is if you get, it took me 2 years of consistently doing these brain detox habits for me to get it right. So we're doing 12 weeks. In that 12 weeks, there is a 21-day plan that I'm excited about implementing on this go around, because I'm noticing that there's a disconnect there. We don't just want to have this transformation for ourselves. We want it to be able to multiply it. So this is going to equip performing women, high performing women, to renew their minds, restore their bodies, redesign their environments. Yes, yes. However, it's a movement. My vision is to have a generation of women whose homes are now sanctuaries, whose bodies are being stewarded, whose work, the line of work that they do, whether they're an entrepreneur or they work from home or work at outside the home, is now becomes a form of worship. How would that feel like? Okay. And whose businesses, they function as a ministry, because you're living off of, 10% and giving 90% if you want to. What would that look like, you guys? To multiply peace, to multiply purpose, to have that prosperity where you can, to be able to give prosperity, and not prosperity in that sense of like, oh, the prosperity gospel, but like more so where you're seeing them being able to have that choice and not feel restricted all the time, financially. So this is for high performing women who want sustainable health. Yes, they're ambitious, but they want to align their values with how they're making that income. Okay. And so they want to be discipled. It's going to integrate detox in the home, as well as in the mind. Like I said, we're doing this 21-day brain detox plan, but you want to stay ethical in your business, right? And you just want to feel at peace, and maybe you have felt conflicted at times. So this is for you. My mission is to empower women like you to live purpose-driven, faith-fueled lives by cultivating spiritual alignment and inner peace. So I really want that, and I want to multiply this and that. So if you're interested in here, I will send, let's get on a 15-minute call. Drop curious in the comments. If you're curious, we'll hop on. But this is what it looks like. It is... I will tell you, this is, for those of you that are already wondering, it is $12.97 for the full program. My special bonus offer, if you enroll by Tuesday of next week, is $997. Okay, there is an option there if you want to pay by PayPal, and PayPal is an option for you. PayPal, I think, gives you an option to pay that in 6 months' time. So that is an option for you. Also, my other special bonus, you guys, and I'm so thankful about this, is I've been able to do this challenge twice. And the second time I was able to have the support of Allison and Tori. Super excited. Just being able to have this strategy to be able to launch your own personal brand. So that is part of my program. But you get to have this as a special, it's not part of my program actually, but as a special bonus. I will share mine with you. And if that's what you want to see, maybe you envision this, but you don't know where to start, that would be a special bonus that you get. So in order, if this is like calling your name right now, let's talk, and let's multiply, you guys. Let's multiply. So I am super thrilled that you guys are here. Thank you so much. Yes, tomorrow we're going to talk about home detox. Yvonne, you're journaling in the morning with gratitude, and just you have your statements, still doing the steps and walking during your lunch. This is awesome. All right. Thank you, ladies, for joining me today. We will see you tomorrow for home detox. Bye for now.